Now, guys, you guys have joined from several cities, countries around the world, from different continents. You've been contemplating where to study, when I should, what factors are going to determine my decision to study abroad, which university is the best suitable for me. I think all these questions are going through your mind, and somehow you came across SMK, and here you find yourself today listening about what SMK has to offer. As you can see in the slide shown is about SMK gives you the opportunity to unleash your potential. When we talk about potential, every human being has a potential, either one or the other, but the ability for you to explore this potential, unleash your potential, find this potential, make use of it, it has been a difficult aspect for most of the students. And this is where SMK come into place. You come as a person, we identify you, and we see the potential in you, maybe the potential in which you haven't seen in yourself. And then this is where the work started. So I will give you a brief about what SMK is all about, the history, the study programs we offer, and why you should choose SMK. Before we proceed further, let's look about the history of SMK. That history could be dated back in 1994 when SMK grown, when it started from a small city close to the coast of the Baltic Sea in Klaipėda. This is where the SMK was established. And today it has grown and has expanded to the 3 biggest cities in Lithuania and has been seen as one of the fastest growing private college in Lithuania. Currently, SMK is ranked as the biggest private higher education institution in Lithuania, and the number of students are growing significantly. Why SMK? That's a question which I think you're asking yourself now. SMK is introducing an experiential learning method in which you learn by doing. You bring real cases into the classroom. That is how our teachers teach it. Business cases, business simulation, consultancy. So you bring it into the classroom, and we don't only emphasize on the theoretical, but the practical aspect is where students find mostly interesting. And this is what makes SMK an exceptional place to study. The teachers are very friendly, the staff are very nice. Sometimes even you find it difficult to identify who is a teacher and who is a student. Today, before coming to the studio to start this, to present to you today, I met one of our students from Egypt. His name is Osman. So he was about the process of applying for his resident permit here in Lithuania. And he told me, Mr. Sampson, there is really one thing I like about my studies here in SMK, in which gives me the spirit of going further. He said, the teachers are willing to help to the point of your satisfaction. And this word is what you could easily hear from all single students. No one is going to, you are not going to be left alone. Some of you travel thousands of kilometers to Lithuania to study, and you are here to explore. You are here to learn. You are here to be motivated. This is what SMK is all about. As you can see the background we're seeing here, you can see this is a modern institution where everyone has the available place for learning. The facilities here are updated, in which you can use at your own comfortable time. Free classroom, computer studies. I think later on, you will look at this virtual tour in which you will understand what do I mean by modern. And our philosophy begins with recognizing the unique and the unlimited potential of every student. Like I said earlier in my presentation, each student has an unlimited potential. And in order for you to explore that potential, first, you have to be at the right place and at the right time. The environment has an effect in unleashing the potential. So this is what SMK tends to offer to you. And this is where you identify yourself here in SMK. So we'll proceed further to just look at an overview of our statistics and what is our success story so far. 27 years of experience we've had, and this is still going. It is growing rapidly. We've seen different students from different other institutions preferring dropping out even after first semester of their studies and coming to SMK just based on a style, on the modern, on the factors which are very necessary in order to make a learning environment a memorable one. We have 4,500 students. We have 150 international students, which could be traced to more than 27 different countries, different continent, different race, different background, different religion. This is what you get in SMK. You are not segregated. You are with us as a family. And we are located in 3 biggest cities in Lithuania: Vilnius, Kaunas, and Klaipėda. Today, we sit in Vilnius, where the activities of international students is held. This is where our international students have lectures. This is where they study, but we do often take a trip to our campus in Kaunas and in Klaipėda to meet our local students over there. A joint activities like a cultural evening, shared cultural experience, shared international experience, because we want our local Lithuanian students also to feel, to enjoy this taste of an international community of SMK. And so far, we have 10,000 alumni students. We have 100 international partners from 25 different countries. And as of today, we have 9 international study programs, which I will give you an overview later on. So, as I said earlier, SMK, we educate. We make sure a moral intellect is being passed across to our students. We don't only educate, we encourage, we motivate. Whenever you come to a country, you might feel left alone. I felt the same thing almost 9 years when I came to Lithuania. I was still a teenager. No mom, no dad, no siblings with me. And I was able to survive, and I'm still here today. And I believe if I could survive with the support of a strong community here in SMK, I believe you also. It's even far easier. It's even so much more easier today to survive, because you can see the population, the younger population speaks widely English, in which communication won't be a barrier. And the last one, which is the empower. We empower you with knowledge. We empower you with information. We empower you with networking. And this empowerment is what you take out from SMK. And this is the useful tools that make you become an independent and you see yourself where you want to be. And one of our alumni is going to talk about this, how his knowledge he has acquired in SMK, how he has empowered him to be who he has will and wish to want to be today. So if we go further to see some interesting facts about SMK, we are accredited by the Center Quality of Assessment of Higher Education in Lithuania, which is under the Ministry of Education. SMK degree is recognized globally, which wherever countries you decided to start your career, the degree is widely recognized. You have the opportunity of going to an Erasmus. We are being granted the Erasmus Charter for higher education, and 92% of employability rate after graduation. This rate is high, is on a high record. Imagine even before finishing your studies, you've already started getting several offers. This is what majority of our students want. How am I going to be employable? Yesterday, I was giving a consultation to one student from Uzbekistan who finished cosmetology and willing to study general nursing practice with us. And we were talking about the employability. And she made a statement with me that she has spoken with 2 of our students who finished in SMK, who work in a quite good company today. And that is one of the success factors that he has seen and he can identify among SMK students. So the employability rate is high because we are bringing real business case into classroom, which you guys have to solve. You are consulting. A CEO of a company is coming to you with his own company business cases, and you are giving a consultation based on the knowledge that you've learned in the classroom to this company. And a form of business simulation Also, these are a form of ingredient that gives you, that improve your employability rate. And also Erasmus opportunity. Statistically said, if you go on Erasmus program, we will talk about Erasmus. My colleague Dariana is going to talk about Erasmus program. Erasmus program improve your employability by 45% because you tend to learn new language, increase your network, and you learn from another country perspective, cultural perspective, different cultural perspective. And this helps you in your critical thinking and problem-solving skills. More than 150 students from over 25 countries. Imagine yourself sitting in an environment where you see someone here from China, you see someone here from the United States, you see someone at your back from Colombia, you see someone at your front from Ghana. Each of these students are from different cultural background. They have different story. They have a different approach. Imagine engaging yourself in a teamwork with different people from different cultural background, each of them coming to you, bringing a different approach on how to solve a problem using their own cultural experience. This is what you learn. And this is a diverse environment. It has turned, this is a research done by an Harvard professor that a classroom environment with more than 7 international students tends to be more critical success part in student learning, because students feel they are really learning from students from different countries and they feel more connected. And these are the memories. These are the memories from the classroom that the student takes with them, and it influences their learning skills. And also, let's talk about the practice in which you get during the process of your study. 2 compulsory internships for students. One is going to be held in your second year, and one is going to be held in your third year. The one in your second year is going to be held around April. That is going to be for 2 months, while the one in your third year is going to be held during your 6th semester. And the second to the last, 1 out of our 5 students get employed in companies where they did their internship. We will look at the study programs, and we will look at the companies where some of our students have gotten retention after their internship, and how it helped them today to be who they want to be. And 65% of our teachers are practitioners working in the outstanding business field. They are coming. These are people who owns several companies, digital communication companies, marketing companies. They are into business. They are having their own form of video creation. These are coming with real life experience into the classroom. So you are seeing who you are learning from. Of course, there's an element of a theoretical part which is being brought into classroom. We use this theory and the practical together to solve the problem and to use as a teaching methodology. And then now I will pass the word to my colleague, Dariana, who is going to give you an overview of a student's life, because all works without play makes Giles a dull boy. So we want you, the moment you are having this academic fun, we want you to have a social fun also. So Dariana.
Thank you, Samson. Hi, everybody. I'm really glad to see you here today. So, of course, we're going to talk about life here inside of Lithuania, because, of course, it's important to know what you're going to study and how you're going to study. But it's also a really crucial part for you and for your parents to know what conditions you're going to face. So I'm going to tell you a bit how we assist students with their life and what's included in the SMK. So we have International Students Network. It's international students who are supporting each other, and they're organizing different events for like foreigners and for their adaptation. And they help to pick you up from the airport. They help you to find any best accommodation or they can always give any advice which you would wish. And I would want to give you some examples of the events which we're holding. So, of course, we are always trying to see what season it is. So, for example, for Halloween, we're making like small parties or pumpkin cravings events. In winter, we go ice skating or watching some thematical movies. We go to the trips. And this is really exciting part for you as international students, because I imagine you already love traveling, because if you're interested in the studies abroad, this is already like a huge sign that you want to explore the world and you want to see more and more. So we're going to have a lot of exploration of Lithuania. We're going to go to the beautiful city of Trakai, which you now can see on the slide, with the old castle, which is built from the red bricks. We're going to go to the city Klaipėda. We went there already for 3 years, and it's our small tradition. And we see the old town, and Lithuania is a beautiful country overall. It has a lot of small, nice buildings and also a lot of modern ones. So I promise you that there is a lot to explore. And of course, we love to enhance different cultures here. That's why we have cultural evenings, which each person which represents another country, they show different traditions, different food they make for the cultural evenings. So this is really exciting, and you get to learn a lot from here.
Thank you, Dariana, for giving us an overview of the study life. Regarding this slide, as you can see, we have our modern. I've been emphasizing on modern. But I believe from a few pictures here, you can see what is called a modern. And later you will feel the modern when we have the campus tour.
Yes, and I will talk a little bit more about why should you choose Vilnius and why you should choose Lithuania. Because for me, it's a great balance between nature, between modern city, and between like student city. It's everything at once, and I really love it. Vilnius is a blooming city. It has a lot of new modern startups, so you'll always have some internship, and you will also see a lot of new modern buildings like here around. But there is also a lot of small, really nice and cozy atmospheric buildings in the old town, which you can always explore, drink your coffee here and enjoy Europe. And I will tell you a few more facts about Vilnius and Lithuania. So we consider it as geographical center of Europe. Lithuania is top 5 country in Europe with the happiest employees. We're happy here, so we can confirm. Vilnius is top 6 city for the best work-life balance globally, according to the researchers. One of the least expensive countries to live in the European Union, and this is really nice. Everything is really affordable here. Lithuanian population is one of the most educated countries, and the most educated country in the EU. 94% of population has a secondary or higher education degree. And we have really fast Wi-Fi, and the language spoken in Lithuania is one of the most ancient languages in the world, and it sounds really nice. And I hope you will come here and hear it yourself, and you will wish to learn it here because it's really nice. And Vilnius is the only capital in the world that you can fly a hot air balloon over. I have done it, and it's really beautiful, especially when you fly over the sunset or you go closer to the forest. It's really nice, really beautiful. And I wish you will have the same experience. So here we can see a bit of pictures of Vilnius. On the left, there is our new city, like our city center, with a lot of banks building, with a lot of skyscrapers. Top right picture is a castle of dukes, of grand dukes, where like it's very old and has a really interesting history. So when you come here, you will visit our city tour and we will tell you more about it. And of course, on the bottom, there is Three Crosses Hill. So as you can see, there is a lot of trees, there is a lot of forest inside of the city, which makes it so alive and blooming. And you can see a bit of old town there in the background. So you can always have like this panorama, come there with your friends and just enjoy the city.
So thank you, Dariana, for giving us a tour, or spoken tour about Vilnius, why you should choose Lithuania, why you should consider Vilnius. I am from Nigeria, and I don't go home often, but whenever I go home, I do go home at an expected time of 5 days, 7 days. But that feeling whenever I arrive to Nigeria, of course, I still have families over there in which I miss them. I haven't seen them for several years. But that feeling after 2-3 days, I feel that I want to go back.
Yeah, it's the same for me.
Yeah, I want to go back. This is what Vilnius creates in you. This is the feeling in which you get in Vilnius, because everywhere is just, you get to the same You just know which time I have to get to the airport. You are at the airport.
It's really like public transportation is very comfortable, and everything here, like all the infrastructure is really nicely built, and it's really cozy. It's not a huge megapolis. So I always also miss Vilnius and want to come back here.
A lot. Vilnius will always stay in your heart. And you see, all this aspect of the environment has very huge influence about your attitude to learn, because you feel very comfortable, you feel happy, and these influence all other factors in which could take effect in your studies. So now let's talk about the study programs in which we offer. All these study programs are the emerging study programs. These are the study programs that are needed, that are demanded, that are required in the social science field. Let's start with all these study programs, starting from international business to tourism and recreation, even to English foundation programs. These study programs are designed in a way that is suitable for each of every one of our students or potential students. So let's start from international business. International business, this is a study program in which you have a global view, how the world is interconnectedness. We've talking about globalization, the effect of globalization, the effect of trading business across border. If we look at the Fortune 500 businesses, companies we have in the world today, all of them are engaged in a one or way of international business. And this is what you get in this study program, right from the onset, right from your first class. You have the opportunity to learn about basics. We start from the basics of international business. You learn about international trade theory. You learn about importing and exporting, foreign direct investment. And also you learn about factors that influence international business. Some factors like the political factors, the economic factors, the social factors, the technological factors, the legal factors, all these factors you learn. You have the opportunity to learn more information about doing business also index, how to use the World Bank Doing Business Index to see which country are doing well, which countries are growing, what does it take in order for you to start a business in a specific country, in order to resolve some legal issue, how long does it take? These are the know-how you get in international business. And this information you get will be sufficient for you. Even if you want to be an international business analyst, you want to work for companies, you want to be a startup. Not all of you want to start your own business. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Some of you still want to work with an undervalued company. And the undervalued company are like government companies, I would say public-private companies or ministries. Some of you want to feel how to work in this act of government bureaucracy. That is what we call the undervalued company. Some of you said, I would like to work in a superstar company like Google, Microsoft, or company listed in the Fortune 500. Some of you will said, okay, I want to work as a startup. I want to identify how to start up my business. And we have created an incubator for you to incubate your idea, turning ideas into reality. So this is all you get once you study international business. So you get the professional and the managerial skills needed in order to make sure you create a team that is able to tackle any global challenges. Courses including this business emerging market, you identify markets that are emerging. And you also have some indicators to understand what makes this market an emerging one. And also you will be able to predict using the current indicator to predict the future of those markets. And you know, since we operate in a different country, we have to get acquainted with the regulation, with the law of that country. So you learn about the international law, you learn about marketing and branding. What makes a product packaged in this country an attractive one compared to another country? So you learn also about the trade and export management. You learn about intercultural communication, how to communicate to a potential customer in a specific country. Because then you have an overview of that country to some extent that you don't only identify the country's communication, the country culture communication, but you identify the subculture, because there are some subculture inside the country that you have to communicate. You don't just come up to an assumption that, oh, people from this specific country talks like this. You identify those how to communicate with different customers based on their age, based on their religion, based on their gender, based on their purchasing power, based on their income. All these practical skills is what you get from international business. And at the end of the day, you won't be surprised that many companies will be chasing you because of your know-how, because of the information you've received. And you can see, you've seen some acquainted, known companies around the world, which are on the slide. These are the companies in which our alumni, our students have gone for training. And some of them are still currently working in this company. Company like Western Union, we have several of our companies going for internship. Company, the airports, so they work with different departments. They work with the anti-money laundering department. They work with resolution department. They work with the human resources department. And booking.com also, you've seen the essence of people find a way of looking for a platform to look for how to get accommodation whenever I travel around the world. And this booking company, booking.com company, is a company in which some of our students do go constantly for internship opportunities. And after internship, they get offers to stay and they decide. SEB companies, at least I know several students who I'm currently in touch with that have graduated from SMK, and they're still working with the SEB company. They work with a different department of the company. And also Turkish Airlines. We have our student working with the human resources department of the Turkish Airlines, and they work also with the human resource, with the accounting department. So these are companies in which several of our alumni, several of our current students are having, either they are starting their career here or they are having their internship in this company. So this is a generalized idea about what this international business is all about. In order for you to understand what makes an international business successful to implement wherever you are. Call it, you finish here in Lithuania, you decided to go back to your own country, even though you see that things in your countries are not comfortable, are not conducive environment. But this aspect of international business is for you to identify risk of a specific country and how to turn those risks to opportunity. So we'll go to the second study program.
Yeah. I also wanted to add that we are both alumni of international business with Samson, and we, from our personal experience, can confirm that it's really interesting and really useful program, not only to work in that field, but to even expand your abilities and to expand your thinking about the world.
Yes, Dariana is right. I finished this study program, and it was, I think, as a background in international business, because I have a mom who has a business, and our business deals with importing and exporting. And during the second year of my study program, I've been a consultancy. I've been offering a consultancy service to my mom, looking for what I learned from classroom and making use in our business. And that's what makes her one of having a competitive advantage in our business today. Yes, so let's look at marketing and advertising creation. Marketing and advertising creation has been one of the heartbeat of every industry. It is recorded that the recent global ad spending amounted to 313 billion US dollars. Global ad spending. That is for you to see the need, the increase, the call for marketing and advertising in different organizations. So what this program is created on is for you to understand the purchasing decision of a client, of a customer. How does a customer develop a purchasing decision? How does they decide to buy, a buying habit of a product? So you examine the psychology of a customer in this study program. What makes a customer take a product or reject a product. First, you have to identify the needs of the customer. Then you can table that need with your own how to market or how to get the product closer to them. And this is what this marketing and advertising is all about. You get different, let's say, entrepreneurship and creativity. As these creativity skills is one of our skills, according to the World Bank, OECD, creativity skills is one of the skills needed to survive in the next 10 years. So this is what you get during this process of this learning, marketing, and advertising, how to create a product that will be accepted, a product that will be globally accepted, a product that is going to be perceived as a needed product. You also learn advertising psychology and consumer behavior. How does consumer comes to a final decision of, yes, this is the product I want? How do you analyze this consumer behavior? And one interesting thing which is not on this slide is about marketing research, because data is important. In order for you to come to a conclusion about a specific market or a consumer, you have to analyze a market. And for you to analyze that market, you need a research. So you will be given classes on marketing research, how to identify those customers that means a lot to you. And also the visual communication, this has been the outlook of a product says a lot about the product, because this is what you see before you get closer to the product. You see what outlook is good, which color is good. Recently, I was reading about top 10 global brands that failed globally, and what are the reasons those brands fail. And majority of them, you could see, I could see it from that book that it is the visual, how the product communicated visually to those clients. There are some colors that were used that are perceived in that culture as not a good culture for those specific products. There are some cultures which could not be identified as a nutrient color for that product in that specific country. So this is where it becomes more interesting, and you learn from the specialist who works in this field and who tell you more about what it's all about. And the last one, which is digital marketing, like I said earlier, 313 billion spent only on global art. Imagine the effect of navigation that we have today, driving around and talking to your phone and navigating you, showing around, telling you where to go. This is the effect of digital. And this is what you learn about how to use this, your marketing information, your marketing campaign, how to make sure you put it on the right digital platform. Because as you can see, let's say some countries are still lacking behind in the penetration to internet or the approach to digital. Companies, many countries in third countries, they still have low penetration to internet. How do you get close to those customers? So we are single countries and their progress and how to get in touch with them. So this is what you learn about this aspect of digital marketing about this product. And let's go further about video creation, where we are today. I know some of you watching this from Nigeria, you've seen familiar logos here, which is the Nollywood. Nollywood is the third biggest film industry in the world today, after Bollywood and Hollywood. Many of you can see the effect of music industry, the visualization, the production, the content of film, movie, music industry today. This is not possible without those who have developed skills in video creation and media. And this is the objective of this program, is to prepare creators who will independently work in group and create a media product where you use up-to-date, not an outdated video production principle. It is up-to-date, new media technologies. And this is where a studio where you will have the opportunity of having some practice during the process of your studies. This is where we are today. And we've seen some of our alumni who have graduated from this program in Lithuanian language work at the video creation department of our Lithuanian Radio and Television, and also Lithuanian National Drama Theatre. You get the ability to edit, to check, and to produce. So basics of filmmaking is what are part of this course. Technology and production audiovisual, how to make sure the production and the technology use is fitting what information you are trying to pass. The sound production, the script writing, acting, also animation. There are some supplementary skills needed for video creation and media. This is what this program entails. So let's go to this. Another interesting study program is the digital communication.
Hello.
How do we communicate digitally today? If I ask majority of you, how do I communicate to you today? You can tell we do that digitally. And digital communication make it possible. And that is why you are sitting there and I am here today. And we are having access to communicate effectively. And this digital communication, it even has this communication theory where you learn this communication apprehension from the sender to the channel and from the channel to the receiver and vice versa also. What information are expected from the sender and how that information, how our channels interferes with the information and what is the effect of the interference of that information to the sender. You get this during this class of communication. How to communicate effectively with different audience, how to do audience analysis, how to analyze your audience and use the right language to get into those audience. So this is what you get during this class of digital communication. We've seen not only that 92% of millennials have access to digital communication, but we've seen people in the 30s, 40s also. Their purchasing decision has been done via digital ads and how to communicate with them, how to make sure the age group are also an added client for you. So you learn about story creation. Storytelling has been another form of creating a story behind the product. Because once you want to perceive people to buy your product, is either you use empathy, you use emotion, you use some culture prefer ethics, some culture prefer logic. So these are what you identify the culture and what are the persuasive way to reach to those audience. Text writing and editing, strategic communication of the organization, digital photography, website administration, social network management and content creation, effect of social management, social network. We cannot defect the effect it has on the purchasing decision and how to communicate. Many of you would think, okay, and I could say from my recent view of a digital industry, the digital communication industry in Nigeria, I can see that if majority of people in Africa, I will put Africa as a whole because the distance of a progress between one country and the other is not that huge. There is more opportunities, even if you finish the study program and go back there. Several guys will be knocking on your door because you are coming with a creative content and information, how to pass the information effectively. So you learn also about the Google tools and services. And in those logos of those companies, those are Litexpo. Litexpo is the biggest exhibition place in Lithuania where our students have already had an internship. And I know some of our students who are currently working in the communication department of Litexpo. And Žmonės is a magazine in Lithuania that talks about different events, about celebrity, about recent life of celebrity. They identify interesting content to share, and they identify different information to share. And we have our students also working in this company, who are full-time students, who are full-time workers of this company. So this is where you tend to end up. Let's say, for example, if you finish your studies as a Nigerian, you finish your study, imagine Punch Nigeria asking you to come. Imagine Earpiece Nigerian asking you to come to work with their communication department. And imagine even the office of the presidency, because if you can see how they handle communication, what kind of information is being spilled out by the communication department of the presidency. This is not a communication that meet up to the latest content. So this is what you tend to learn. And let's go further with programming and multimedia. Very interesting, very emerging, a program that it is now the average pay of this programming and multimedia in US. Yearly average pay is 88,000 US dollars. So you don't teach computers on how to act, but you learn about problem solving skills on how to make use of this and let the computer act on itself. So this is not about instructing computer on what to do, but you also, your critical thinking and how to use your critical thinking to navigate the computer on how to act. This program has been, I have never seen any student in this program unemployed. That is the fact. And students from this program tend to be spoiled. Why? Because they've seen a lot of jobs chasing them. They've seen a lot of companies chasing them. That is why they tend to be spoiled, because they've gotten the A to Z of a programming and multimedia. And this is what the program is built upon: the computer architecture and the operating system, where you get to know everything about how the computer behaves, how it acts, how it's systemized, the multimedia technology, the audiovisual, the IT project management and methodology, the 3D modeling and animation, computer statistics, the programming Internet of Systems, Java programming, robotic augmented and reality technologies. These are very technical skills, and we have this computer lab in which you have access, a modern computer lab for that matter. You have access in which learning without stress and finishing without stress. Imagine first, second year, you've already have a lot of IT companies, a lot of businesses chasing you around, offering you tons of thousands of money just to get your service. Because majority of you want to be someone where you can work from anywhere. And this programming and multimedia, a lot of programmers can work from anywhere. They have this work from anywhere, remote working, and their employability rate is super high. So as you can see, these companies listed here, Telia, one of the biggest communication companies in Lithuania. We've seen some of our students ending up here. Kuda Microfinance Bank is one of a microfinance bank in Nigeria, which tends to be very innovative. Interswitch, Danske Bank IT, this is the Danish IT bank retail bank. So these are companies where we have several of our students working at the moment or having their practice. And let's go to the next study program. It's cosmetology. Cosmetology, this is a new program that's just created. We know our identity say a lot about us, how we treat our skin, how we treat ourselves, how we want to look glowing, how we want to look ageless. And this is what cosmetology. You are working in a growing industry. In Lithuania, the cosmetology industry has grown rapidly. It has been one of the most popular programs among our Lithuanian students. And the industry all over the world, about the aesthetic industry, is projected to be triple in the next 5 to 10 years. There is high demand of cosmetologists. And this study will grant a self-practical skills that will help you talk, not even be a practitioner about beauty, but you also can teach about beauty, general skin illness and pathology, general clinical and apparatus cosmetology, business of beauty service. You get an additional management skills, how to start your own cosmetology business and how to be a cosmetologist that will always identify your client needs. Face and body procedure, body spa, makeup, you will do face body care. In our campus here in Vilnius, including Lithuania and including in Kaunas and in Klaipėda, we have a well-equipped laboratory for cosmetology. Everything is of an high standard. Every person who visits here, wow, is always the reaction on their face. So this is the aspect of learning in a modern cosmetology environment. And general practice nursing. Nursing, the effect of COVID, we've already seen how our workers in the medical industry are needed. We tend to appreciate that an illness in a small country can affect the entire globe. And this is now, after COVID, we've seen our nurse, our doctors are really, really, really needed. We take this as a very important aspect. So the general practice nursing, it's evidence-based practice. You are working with people with different illness, not immediately when you start studying, but at the second year, you start going to the clinic, going to the hospitals, to be an assistant to nurse, to see how a patient is being treated. This program, I would say, is more practical base oriented, because for every courses you have, you will have a practical part of it. So some interesting programs in which you will learn about this is an anatomy program, microbiology, general nursing, pharmacology, physical medicine, rehabilitation, mental health care, surgical nursing, and obstetric nursing. And this program here in Lithuania, compared to, let's say, UK, US, Australia, or New Zealand, this program is relatively cheap. And you get a degree which is equivalent to that of what you get in the UK. So this program is gaining momentum now as part of our study program among Lithuanians, among international students. So you work with healthcare practitioners who have several years of experience and who work in a modern clinic, not the government clinic, the modern one, the private one. In the next slide, you will see an example of a clinic, which is one of the most modern, I would say, in Lithuania. So these are the list of subjects also that you will have. You have an intensive nursing, which is going to be intensive. You will learn a lot practically. And I think looking at the timeline of the duration of this program, 3.5 years, I think this is the only study program among our students that has the highest duration of study, which is 3.5 years. I believe you could learn a lot in these 3.5 years, 3.5 years, because you don't have anything to worry about. If you are in an environment that seems conducive for you, what else do you have to worry about? And the degree which is going to be issued after completing this program is valid within the 27 EU countries. And if you want to go to UK, you just easily change. You don't need to write tons of exams. I have a lot of friends who finish nursing, even medicine in Nigeria. My brother also is into this line. So I know the stress that they go through in converting their degree from other country into the UK degree or license. So this is not what it is going to be easily converted. And this clinic, Baltic American Clinic, is one of the best private clinics that we have in Lithuania that are using up-to-date medical tools, nurse who understand different client needs, they're bringing this form of a holistic approach to medicine. They don't treat your illness alone, but they treat your body as a whole. So they know the effect of your environment about your illness, and this is what they focus on. So this is more about nursing and transport and logistic. Transport and logistic program, I think this program, I would say, is being dominated among, let's say, among our Lithuanian students, especially people who come from suburbs, because looking at the geographical location of Lithuania, we can see the ability to be effectively from Lithuania to other countries, or our ability to get a product effectively in a good timely manner from China. I have several friends who have their own even logistic companies, Lithuanians, and they transport goods from Germany to Algeria, from China to Lithuania, from US to Nigeria. And I do talk to them on a daily basis. They finished this study program. So Griteka, which is seen on the first company on which logo appears here, is the biggest logistic company in Lithuania.
And the biggest company overall in Lithuania.
In Lithuania. So this is where majority of our students works in this company. And they are, during the process of your studies, you understand everything about the transport and logistic business, and you understand the main system of international transport. Client request for a goods now. I want to get this good in 4 days. This affects one of the purchasing decision of a client. If they see that it is possible to get the good at the right time, some goods are durable, some are not durable. So how to deal with those goods which are not durable? This is a lot which you learn in transport and logistics business. And you manage the technological process in transport and logistics. You have an adequate knowledge on how to manage a business, the managerial skills needed to survive in the transport and logistics business. You see, when this COVID pandemic happened, it affected a lot of logistic business. But what many companies are unable to do is they were unable to manage this crisis. The applicable of a management in this business, you identify crisis, a possible effect of crisis which is about to happen, and how to cope, how to stand after crisis, post-crisis situation. So you learn this managerial aspect of transport and logistics. And definitely this will help your company, even you work with a company or you start something on your own to survive in a long run. Courses included in this program include freight shipping, the custom operation. Also, you know what are the custom regulations in different countries. You know goods which are contrabands, goods which are not allowed to enter the countries. You know the legal regulation of the transport activities. You know about the transport economics, the transport demand and supply. You know the management of transport logistic information system, the applicable of IT into transport using different applications that could give you an estimation of it is possible to get this good in 4 days. Intermodal transport of dangerous goods. Goods they are vulnerable. Imagine transporting eggs, tons of eggs. How to make sure those products are well secured. Also technical maintenance of the vehicle, logistic, trade production, and supply chain management. How to manage the supply from one destination to another one. The companies here, FedEx, DHL, Cognizant, you can see these are companies which are well known. FedEx, DHL, Griteka, these are global companies that are operating in more than, let's say, 10, 15, 20 different countries. And they deal with logistics. And what made them a major industry player is because of their ability to manage their business well. So let's look at the tourism and creation. Tourism and creation. Everyone after the post-COVID situation tourism and recreation is one of the most affected industries. People tend to travel less. Then if they travel less, the tourism industry has they have the effect of tourists who are not visiting your country. Especially, let's look at the companies who are highly dependent on tourism as a source of revenue. They were affected. But the aim of this program is for you to look at the top three issues facing the tourism and recreation industries. Issues like insecurity and safety. Issues like crisis preparation. COVID has taught us that many hotels were unable to prepare for the crisis. And the issues like sustainability, which is gaining a momentum in the tourism industry. So this program will identify the new challenges that's being faced in the tourism and recreation business and how to deal with those challenges. I've been talking about this tourism and recreation and other programs, but it would be nice to hear from one of our students who finished this study program. That was in 2019. And he is working now with one of the best, I would say even the top hotel on the #1 list in Lithuania. He's currently working with them and he's doing happily good. So it is my pleasure to welcome on our open day show our alumni who has finished tourism and recreation back in 2019. And his name is Abdul Malik. He is from Uzbekistan. Abdul Malik, welcome. How are you?
Good. Hello.
Welcome to the studio. Hello.
How are you? Long time no see.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Well, not bad, Tourism business is coming back.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
It's
yeah.
alive.
Yeah. People are coming. More tourists.
More tourists.
More visitors. Yeah.
So you've seen that new visitors are coming to your hotels now.
Yes.
As a guest in your hotel.
Of course. As you see it, the times are not easy. Everyone is trying to get more flexible with such kind of situations. So, and now we can see that we are doing very good.
Very good.
We try to understand how can we avoid in the future such kind of like problems with the virus and all the stuff. So we are growing step by step. Yeah.
Very good, Malik. Nice to have you here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
We would like to ask you some questions like from the beginning, and we would like to know how you found out about Lithuania and like what brought you here.
Of course, sure. So it was a very interesting story actually, how I found Lithuania.
Wow.
When I was at school, finishing my last year, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should go study somewhere in Europe, but I didn't want to go like to the big countries.
Why?
I don't know. I always want to do something differently. So and then I have a friend who was actually studying here already, and we just chatted, and he's like, "Hey man, come to SMK, come to Lithuania." I'm like, "Oh, where is this country is located?"
So you've never heard about?
Yes. So it made me even more curious, about
the country,
about everything. Then I started researching, exploring which university should I choose, what should I study, and I was always looking for something like this faculty, tourism and recreation, because the country where I come from is Uzbekistan. We actually have a lot of resources, history. We have a very nice gastronomy. I really advise you to visit our country. For sure, you will enjoy it. So what I wanted is just like to gain more experience, to study, and just have more knowledge. Yeah, so later, maybe I go back and improve it. Yeah.
But what was your first impression when you came to Lithuania? Is it Vilnius Airport, which is a small Vilnius Airport?
Yeah.
Is it the first impression you had?
Yeah. The airport was very small. I was like, oh, am I in Vilnius? So, and it was my first time traveling abroad alone. Yeah, that was my first time ever when I went somewhere else alone by myself. So I was a bit lost. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, but that's how your journey is starting, So once you choose this to go somewhere outside to study and live abroad alone, so be ready. Be
ready to get lost.
Of course.
But how's it overall? Are you satisfied right now with Lithuania? And like, did you have any cultural shocks? Like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. For me personally, like the country from where I came from, we always tend to like have lots of places where you can go, like meet your friends and then have some nice and delicious food like from my country. And here, the people have completely different tastes. So at the beginning is a bit strange, to feel this culture. But later, of course, step by step, you meet more people, you meet more locals. The local people are very friendly. Like,
was it difficult to make friends, like in the beginning?
No, not at all. I was so surprised, when I came here. I remember my first day. I was like, oh, I don't know anyone. I'm like alone. Oh, and I was very shy guy. Oh my God. Yeah.
And you're still shy now?
No, not anymore. So I met just randomly one girl here in the university, and we just started talking. And she is local. She is from Lithuania.
Nice.
And then she was like, "Oh, where are you from?" And then I was introducing this and that, and then she told me like, "Oh, maybe you want us to show the Vilnius?" And I was like, "Yes, of course." And
nice.
Then they took me outside, showed me all the places. Where should I go? Where can I go and do such kind of activities? And even later they were inviting me to their home for dinner. Nice. So I could get more connected with the local culture.
Yeah, it's not a shock, because these are the kind of students we attract in Lithuania. Yeah. Lithuanian students who are not shy to talk to foreigner, who are not try to initiate a communication with foreigner. Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy for you.
I'm glad that cold people in Lithuania is a myth. Yeah. Everybody who I spoke to, they just say that all Lithuanians are really nice and really open. So
yeah, even I learned Lithuanian language already in 6 years living here, by being surrounded by Lithuanian people. I can speak Lithuanian.
That's very good. That's very good. And this communication aspect helps you wherever you go in Lithuania. Imagine you are walking towards, let's say, an old lady working in a government institution, and she's scared of talking in English, and you make the first attempt of talking in Lithuanian. She's going to get shocked, but in a positive way. Yeah. Positive. Yeah. That's amazing. Like that. That's amazing. Malik, can you tell us about your study experience here in SMK? Remember your first day in the class, the teacher walks in. How was the experience? Bring us back to the memory of your first class in SMK.
Okay, let me try. I even still remember my first class and my first teacher. I remember it was a course of marketing. Oh. And our teacher was Eskeder Mastavichen.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, yeah, she is actually a great mentor who
Nice.
supported me, you know. At first when I came, I remember my English was a little bit like not so nice, you know. I was a bit afraid to talk, but she helped me a lot
Good.
to be like more open, to just speak what you want, and then, you know, she was just fixing my small mistakes. And yeah, so everyone is very friendly here, you know. Like if I go back to my country and in our country,
It's different.
It's completely different, you know.
No teacher cares about you. They don't
Yeah.
even, not only your country, I can say Nigeria also.
I mean,
And
you
I
know,
can say Ukraine as well.
so in our countries, all the teachers are like super strict, you know, with like poker face.
Yo,
Yeah.
don't get close to me.
And you,
this is where I stay. This is where you stay.
Yeah.
No.
And you're scared to talk with them, you know, and you don't know if you should go and ask something. So these kind of things, I feel.
You are even scared to say I to them.
Yeah.
Because they can tell that you said it wrongly or something.
Yes. But here it's not like that, you know. So imagine after the class is over, or when it's like when we finish our week of studies, then we have a weekend. We tend to go like with the teachers somewhere outside.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, meet, do some activities. So it's very fun. So here, like, teacher is not a teacher, is more like your mentor, your friend, who will always be like by your side, give you some advice, experience. So for sure, yeah, you will not regret. Yes.
So what was your favorite subject here? What did you like the most about SMK, about studies?
You know, you are putting me in a very
tight corner.
Tight corner. I can't say there was a bad and good. So everything was nice, you know. I mean, I was studying tourism, and for me it was more interesting, of course, to get to know about like more about tourism, you know, about tourism business. So I had my teacher, and she was actually my mentor when I was writing my thesis. Her name is Irena Ahonen. Yes. Actually, she is partly working in a Ministry of Tourism and partly doing lectures in all the universities. So she was very nice and
bringing real life
well
cases to classroom.
Yeah, of course. So I learned from her a lot. She gave me also a lot of her time for me. Yes, I know. There was some moments when I could not understand properly, but still, you know, she was pushing
She
me.
was by your side.
Yeah. So that's what I like. That most of the teachers here, they always try to push you. Yeah, so always try to do your lectures on time, your presentations. Yeah.
Oh, Malik, a lot of things happens during your time in SMK, 3 years, 6 semesters, hundreds of hours. And also I remember you were in Erasmus in Croatia.
Yeah. That was awesome.
What was your experience in Erasmus?
Erasmus. You know, guys, this Erasmus, this is something that you have to like stick and make a list that you should go on Erasmus. You know, if you are not using this opportunity, then
it always stays in your heart. Like it's one of the best student memories ever.
Of course. So I guess if someone is not going on Erasmus, so you are missing a lot of things, because Erasmus first is you make more friends, connection. You know, connection is power always.
Yes.
You make more people, more friends, then in the future it will help you a lot. Then of course you learn a lot of different languages. Like I can tell you, I learned Croatian, I learned a little bit of French, a little bit of Italian, Spanish. So it's very nice to have. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's very nice. We will talk a bit about Erasmus later.
Yes, I will explain,
You will explain
how to get the opportunity.
Yeah. And how do you find your current workplace?
My current workplace is I feel
What's the name of the hotel you work now?
The name of hotel is Patsai. You can see on the slide.
And what's special about this hotel?
What's special? What makes us special from like, let's say, from these two
From the
hotels?
other competitors?
Yes. For example, these two hotels, they have some kind of agenda all around the world, and they try just to follow the same agenda. Yeah. And in our hotel, it's all about like improvisation, trying to be more flexible. So we try to give more of personal service for every guest. And that's what makes me also, I like what I'm doing, you know, because sorry, every day we have different people coming and they are completely different. They have completely different needs in something. So you have to find a correct way how to treat him well, how to impress him, you know, and leave a nice impression after all. So he will come back again next time. And we have actually a lot of guests who are coming back because we are providing
a good impression.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I met a lot of celebrities like I would never expect it, you know.
Can you give example?
No, I can't say actually names, but I can tell you like there was some NBA players, there was some Hollywood stars, there was some famous singers, DJs. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you have a bad security so they cannot tell names?
Yeah, it's just it's policy, you know.
It's the policy of your work.
Yeah, it's
good.
privacy.
Malik, what is your advice to students who are with us online watching us today, who are still contemplating, should I really choose SMK? Should I really come to Lithuania? Should I study in Vilnius? What would be
my advice? I advise if you are someone who is looking for flexible place, for a friendly environment, like look, you have all the international departments, everyone is from the different countries, so you will not regret your choice if you wish to study here. It's very nice. Like for example, in compared to other universities in Lithuania, SMK has the biggest list of Erasmus countries.
Wow.
So you have like so many different options, a lot of options for the practice while you are studying. Yeah, so you will always get a lot of like support from all the people around here. And of course, what I advise is just to be strong, to make as much more like friends, get more connected. Yes, then what else? Just enjoy.
Just enjoy. Just apply.
Yes, just enjoy. SMK is the best place for sure. You will not regret. You will not regret.
Yeah. That is coming from someone working in Patsai, which is the top best hotel in Lithuania. And with this is Malik again from Uzbekistan.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Malik,
much.
thank you so much for coming up on our Open Door Days today. I believe our future students also will have the opportunity to see you, to seek for more advice whenever they finally arrive to Lithuania. Thank you, Malik. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we had a small break, but now we'll come back to our super interesting presentation and we will find out more about Erasmus and other programs. So I will tell you a little bit more about the English Foundation program. This is our only certificate program, which we have for the students who are not that sure in their English language skills and who would like to have some preparatory course before they start studying their bachelor degree. So you can enroll in the English Foundation program. It is really popular among the people who are not coming from the countries which speak English. So what will you learn there? You will learn English grammar, speaking, listening, of course, and you will have a lot of practice, because besides just studying English and grammar, you will also have additional lectures. You will have lectures about Lithuanian culture and society, which you will learn a bit of Lithuanian history. Of course, you will have one necessary course for the informatics, which is called computer literacy, which you will learn about the Microsoft Office programs like Word, PowerPoint, because I know a lot of people who have just finished their high schools, they don't know about this. So you will have all the adaptation tools to start your study successfully and not to be lost. So let's see more how international we are.
Okay, I will come back to internalization of SMK, as I've said earlier in my presentation, talking about the statistics about how culturally diverse we are, how we made ourselves relevant across the border. So you can see we are truly international. Our diversity in SMK is our strength. Our non-borderless activities makes us grow. We focus on equality. We focus on inclusion, and we focus on diversity. And this is what makes SMK unique compared to other universities. I've been to several universities here in Lithuania. I won't make mention of names. I've gone as a visiting lecturer, and I see at one side, the local students are sitting, and the other side, international students are sitting. You will never see this in SMK. It is not that we put tags of name of student on chairs. Students just come voluntarily because they've made friends among the other local student and international student. This environment is diverse. This is a beauty of us in SMK. And statistically, 10% of our students are coming from 25 different countries, different continents, different borders, different languages. Dariana later is going to, I think you have spoken about our activities, which is cultural evening. One of the best activities I enjoyed mostly. Last week, we had a cultural evening from Italy and Portugal, which was super amazing. This is what you get in SMK. Every Wednesday or Thursday evening, you're waiting for that cultural evening where you have the opportunity of listening to different countries' presentation, tasting their food, and dancing,
yes,
and playing some games and winning some gifts from that country. This is amazing. This is what makes the study process. This is what makes it even interesting. This is what makes people tend to visit the campus often. And we have 115 partner universities all over the world. You can go there to spend a semester or even a whole year. And also, we have the opportunity of taking the scholarship from the EU, which is up to 700 euro per month in order to support your financial stay in whatever country you choose for your exchange program.
I will tell more about that. So what is Erasmus Plus? We have talked a lot about it today. So Erasmus Plus is an exchange program where you can pick a university in the European Union or even sometimes around it, like Georgia or like even South Korea. And you can go there for 1 semester or 2 semesters and study abroad or have internship abroad. I will tell you more about studies and I will tell you why it's so great. So first of all, the most interesting part that you go traveling and you also receive scholarship for it, which supports you through your stay. So not only you don't need to pay for like your own pocket for like living, but it's also enough for flying there, and you get it each month while you're staying there for 4 or 5 months. So it's a great way also to save up some money, maybe when you come back from Erasmus. So here you can see different countries and what scholarships you receive. So starting from 420 till 520 euros, depending on the country, of course, because different countries have different levels. of financial stability. And the second type of Erasmus Plus is Erasmus Plus internship. So you can pick any company you like inside of European Union or in UK or in Georgia, whenever you like. You will also receive even bigger scholarship, which is almost equal to amount of the salary you will receive as like freshman, but you will also have a lot of fun. You will also have financial support, and you will have the most important experience. So when you come to employee at your home country or here in Lithuania, and you show that like, oh, I have worked for 5 months in like Portuguese company or in German company, it will have a much bigger benefit than you would just be studying here and working just in Lithuanian companies. So now companies go and like people who are up for adventure, up for traveling and being internationalized. So this is a great way, and we always encourage our students to be super active, not to have any debts, and go for Erasmus and enjoy your youth years. So I will tell you more about benefits of Erasmus Plus for you to dream more and to be surprised of your dreams. So as I have said, you can choose any European country to study for a semester or for 1 year. So you have a chance to study for the whole year. For example, you have entered SMK, right? But you can have a chance to study in Finland for the whole year to check how different it is, the level of education. You don't need to pay anything for it. You're getting paid yourself, and you're getting a huge experience. It's so amazing, I think. So another thing, some students, for example, from Ukraine, they come when they're here, like when they're 16 or 17 years old. And okay, Lithuania is not that far from their home country. But for example, Croatia is quite far, so you cannot just come back home and so on. But the benefits of Erasmus Plus is that you get supported from your home university. So from SMK, you receive like support, you receive useful tips how to get there. You communicate with other students who have been there, and they give you some contacts where you can rent the apartment and so on. So you receive help from Lithuania, and you also receive help from the institution which receives you. So they also can give you a lot of tips and help you out if something happens with your health or anything. So you're never alone in Erasmus Plus. So you're safe to travel. And financial support from Erasmus Plus, it's a great bonus. And also Erasmus Plus scales up your employability for 45%. So you're much more wanted candidate for the company rather than the person who is not that experienced, who is not that easy to adapt. So you can travel around neighboring countries in your free time while you're in Erasmus. For example, if you go to Croatia again, you can travel to Italy, you can travel to Slovenia, Slovakia. Of course, now coronavirus, previous years, it was a bit harder, but you can still go around and see Europe. And we have a lot of Erasmus students who are coming here in SMK. So you get to know them here on your first year and to know a lot of different facts, and then you go to their home country and maybe you already have some friends whom you're going to visit there. So the network of friends and teachers, they stay for the whole lifetime of yours. I can prove it on my own experience with the friends whom I have been in Erasmus with. I'm still friends with them, and we still make reunions in different like countries of the world. Like recently we have been like to Turkey, so it's really amazing, and it always stays there, and it's one of the best parts of your studies here. So yeah. Now we'll come back here to Lithuania, to our campus, and we'll tell you a bit more what you can expect from the campus, because I love this space. And when I was a student, it gave me so much want to study and not to go to dormitory or home and just study here, like do my stuff on my laptop and never leave. So we have library. Library is really important for students, but also it's great that we also have online library available as here. We also have video and audio studio. You can see it now. That's how our video studio looks like. So you're also available like to come here to make your own podcast with friends, make even TV shows, or whenever you like, whenever your creativity flows. So you're always up like using like any cameras, any lights. So if you're a creative person, it's like a heaven for you. We have a dance hall, which also can be used as any like a big place. So you can like make yoga sessions there or anything you would like on your free time. We have study zones with all the necessary equipment, meaning that we have computers with like office like visit office programs, which you can always need like for your homework. So you can stay here and do it, and you don't have any problems with the internet. So it's really equipped, it's really nice, and it has light, it has electricity, it has Wi-Fi, really fast one. So you always can find anything here. We also have International Students Network. I have introduced you a little bit to their events and what they're doing, and they're really nice students, and you will see them today even. Small spoiler. So they're always happy to meet new people, to get to know you, to find new friends, so you will not be lost. We have the Career Center here ready, which helps you to find what you like and where you would like to go for internship and to maybe work after your studies. And we have a student association, is an association consisting of Lithuanian students, which maybe you can imagine, they know Lithuania and Vilnius more than anybody else because most of them have grown up here. So they can also show you around and have joint events, so you'll get acquainted with the culture much better. And accommodation. This is really important for you as a foreigner. Of course, we always receive a lot of questions about accommodation. So we have a partner dormitory, which has really nice conditions. It's with a room for 2 people, with like a private bathroom, with a kitchen on the floor. It's really nice. It costs 160 euros per month, but the places are limited, so you will need to book it in advance, but we do have a partner dormitory. And of course, if there is no place in the partner dormitory, or you would want better conditions and live just by yourself, you can rent either apartment, or as Vilnius is really like startup city, we have a lot of co-living projects, meaning that they rent a small apartment. And what's nice, you can rent it for 1 month, 2 months, whenever you would like. So there is like no huge contract. Of course, if you want to live there for a whole year, you can live there for a whole year. So they're also not that expensive. They start from, I think, 300 euros right now per person. And they allow like a pets or anything. And you can see here on the picture how nice it looks like, with the modern furniture, with modern everything. And it's like 3 minutes walk from our campus. So there is always like a lot of places to find accommodation at. So don't worry, you will not be living on the streets. We will always find you a space and always help you to find something which matches you and what you're interested in. So one of the most interesting parts, how to apply and all the details. I will tell you more about that, and maybe Samson will add. So application deadline is July 15th for the people who are outside of European Union and European area. And for people who already have European passports and who don't need to apply for visas, the deadline is 1st of August. What you need to prepare? You need to prepare your high school transcript or examination. For Nigeria, I know it's VIAC, and for Ukrainians, for example, you need to have your school certificate or ZNO certificate. And of course, you can write to us and ask what specifically for your country is needed and what documents are accepted. You need to have proof of sufficient English language. You can either pass the test here in SMK with our teacher, or you can pass IELTS or TOEFL. If you have passed it, maybe like you're also trying for other universities, so it also fits for us. You will need to give us motivational essay describing why you want to study here, telling more about yourself, about maybe your family or what you like, and why we should take you into consideration, because we love active students. We love that they're here engaged and not just sitting at home. So you will need to prove it to us. And application fee paid. And I will tell you more about the application fee and the prices. So application fee is 120 euros for foreigners and 50 euros for European Union citizens. There is health insurance needs to be made. It is approximately 120 euros. It still depends on your country, but there is a lot of small details about insurance. So ask us or check around yourself the needed documents for the visa. So tuition fee for European Union students and for non-European Union students starts from 2,980 and it ends with 1,780 euros per year. And of course, we have scholarships, which is really nice part. And I hope you studied at school really well, because there are scholarships available for the people who are from for Eastern Partnership countries. Those are Belarus, Ukraine, Moldova, Azerbaijan, Armenia. And we have 40% talent scholarship, which is not limited by any country. You just need to be a really good student and really motivated student. And that's all. You can receive 40% of your first year of studies, like easily. And when you're here, and when we see your success here, and if you're active and we see your grades, then you can receive up to 50% of coverage of your tuition fee, which makes it really easier on your parents, like funding. So it's always a great opportunity to put yourself into and develop, like put yourself into the process. And you're also allowed to work here to help your parents, like make it like easier financially. So you're allowed to work here 20 hours per week, which is part-time jobs. Yes. So here on this slide, you can see the duration of programs and how much they cost for non-European Union students and for European Union students. Of course, you will receive this presentation later on, so you can take a look at it longer. But here you can see that most of the bachelor programs are 3 years, and general practice nursing is 3.5 years. And our certificate program of English Foundation is either 1 semester or 2 semesters, depending how much you need and how much you're willing to stay with us. Yes. And I will tell you a bit more about the scholarships. So as I showed you a little bit, it's we have 2 scholarships. We have 20% scholarship for Eastern Partnership countries. Here you can see the list of the countries. So it's quite easy to apply. You need to have average school grade 8.0. In Lithuania, we have from 0 to 10. So you can like see it's about 80% needs to be like passed of all the subjects. You need to receive qualification recognition from SKVC, meaning that you can see in our application website where you can present another website, go there and to put your high school documents and passport for the recognition. It's free process. It takes a bit of time, but it also needs to be done for you to have all the benefits of being student in Lithuania, having student card, even graduating later, because you cannot graduate without having a SKVC. So if you didn't start your SKVC process, please do. You can always write to our email. We will help you out. We will tell you how the process goes and so on. And for this scholarship, you need to be the citizen on one of those countries. And that's mainly it. And we also have 40% scholarship, which applies almost the same, but you don't need to be from one of those countries, and you need to have a grade of 8.5 out of 100, out of 10. So 85% out of 100. And we would like to tell you how we deal with the situation which is happening in Ukraine, because, you know, there is a war. So just for you to understand how much we care about anybody, any foreigner. So Lithuania is really warmly taking all the Ukrainians who are now fleeing from war. So just wanted to tell you about like this nice initiative when we took yellow and blue ribbons. We put it all there like around the square. It's really beautiful, like all the trees, as you can see on the slide. All the trees were in these colors, and it was really nice. And of course, we offer also support to Ukrainian students who are currently in SMK, and also for the students who have been students in Ukraine, like they're in like their 2nd or 3rd year and they were not able to finish their studies. They can for free come here and we will lift their tuition fees. They will not need to pay for anything. We will try to do everything for them to adapt here for free, to help them to finish their studies. And because, well, you know, it's really unfortunate what's happening now in Ukraine, and we try to help as much as we can here. And of course, we care about other students as much as if anything happens, we're always here for you. That's why we're telling you about this. So Samson.
Yeah, my colleague Dariana have spoken about what are needed for you to apply, but I'll just give you a brief of the application process. It's quite simple, it's quite fast. The only difficulties you might face along the line is what is called the SKVC. SKVC, the acronyms is Center for Quality and Assessment Center, which is under the Ministry of Education, which means any foreigner planning to study in Lithuania have to submit his or her secondary school education or high school education for evaluation. Then the institution, the center, is going to evaluate it if it is equivalent to that of Lithuania. because they have a lot of applicants. So that's why the process might take longer. But what you have to do first is to register on apply.smk.org. You can find that on our website. You selected your preferred study program. Let's say, for example, you are still thinking, should I go for digital communication or marketing and advertising? You have the opportunity of choosing two options. Pay the non-refundable application fee of €120 during the process of your submission, and submit the secondary school document with SKVC for evaluation. Once you submit it, what you get is this SKVC application number for easy process and for the transparent process. We always advise you to send it to us, because that will help us to send to SKVC that the reason why you're applying to them is because you want to study with us. So, which we have to issue a proof of purpose sent directly from our email to SKVC. Once the SKVC is how you notify us to arrange a motivational interview, we agree on the timing, the suitable time for you. We will have the motivational interview just to see what are the motivating factors, why you want to study in Lithuania, SMK. And the decision of the admission committee will be announced in 5 working days. If there is a slight, let's say, delay, could be 2-3 days. Maybe we haven't come into conclusion. Maybe there are some default in your documents or in the information presented. So these are the simple steps towards that application process.
Yes.
So, and let's see, well, you've heard from us today. We've been doing the talking about how SMK is good, how it's nice. You've heard from our alumni who finished tourism recreation program. He told you how it's helpful. And now you've seen the application process, the document requested, the requirement. These are our contacts for you to contact us if you have additional questions regarding the application process. We've been talking about modern. Now, I think it is time for you to go through our virtual tour to get to know about our campus, what are the facilities available for you, how you can get acquainted with these facilities while you're sitting at home and these facilities are waiting for you. So now, please, we will show you the campus, so we'll take you virtually tour on our campus. Enjoy.
And after that, we will see some students telling you more about our study.
Yes,
programs.
don't go yet. After the virtual tour, we have an interesting discussion with our current students. Some of them are mentors. The other ones just got internship recently. They will share the experience. They are from 2 different countries. They are very interactive person, very active student. You will see day-to-day life in SMK, how it influences on them. So after the virtual tour, guys, see you soon.
Welcome to SMK Vilnius Campus. Built in 2014, it received a number of architectural awards for its open and innovative design. This building is really open and bright, as 63 tons of glass were used in construction. On the first floor, you can find a big entry hall for students to chat and hang out in. There's, of course, a cafeteria with delicious foods and drinks, and a big, huge conference hall, which accommodates up to 300 people. The best part of SMK Vilnius campus is that it's really big, open and bright, and there's a lot of places for students to hang out in and spend time comfortably. The best part of SMK Vilnius campus design is that it's full of open spaces, which are adapted for students to spend their free time. You can see different kinds of benches in various designs, so everyone can find whichever fits them most. Here on the second floor, you can find 2 biggest auditoriums, which we call amphitheaters. It accommodates up to 120 students. There are also many different classrooms in this building, which are different in sizes and shapes. Here you can see a computer lab, which is equipped with Apple products, which are used in many different study programs. Here you can see our labs, which we use for other study programs. All our facilities are always open, so if they're available, you are free to use them whenever you want. On the third floor, you can find an open space with computers in them that are available for students to use for work, study, and free time. The whole building is equipped with the fastest free Wi-Fi internet. This is yet another type of auditorium, which is shaped in a circle. This is one of the most favorite auditoriums of our teachers and students because people can sit in a circle and easily interact. Here are some office spaces for our social partners. Various businesses operate with these facilities and even have some students doing their internships with them. Our next useful location is SMK Library, where students get their course material. As SMK does not require to purchase textbooks because a lot of them are stored in electronic format. Students are also given a free access to dozens scientific databases. You can also find SMK Video Lab here on the third floor, where a lot of video production happens. That's it. That was a brief look to SMK Vilnius campus. We hope you like it as much as we do. We hope that you will feel the real SMK community vibe when you come to join us the next semester.
Welcome back, everyone, back to our studio. I believe you guys enjoyed the campus tour a lot. You've seen a lot of interesting places where you've seen our cafeteria, how nice settings it is, our library, our leisure room. You can see how glowing even the environment it is. And these are what is waiting for you, much more in SMK. So today we have two gentlemen in our midst today. We have Artem from Ukraine and we have Chimnonso from Nigeria. Both study international business. They are here to be, they are happy to be here with us today. Aren't you happy? I can see you guys smiling.
Sure, we're very happy.
You're very happy.
We are very happy.
Nice to have you with us today. The essence of we having you here is to share your experience as a student, your decision of coming to Lithuania, what prompted this decision. So feel free, just relax. This is not classroom environment.
Sure.
Yeah, so relax. Feel free to spill out. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we'll go strong and we'll ask you how do you feel about subjects you're studying, and maybe you will tell us what's the favorite thing here, what's your favorite subject, what's your favorite teacher, why. So
okay, that's actually a really good question because there is no particular answer personally for me. The thing that I really like about our university is that all the subjects are basically related to the major topic that you're studying. If you're studying, let's say, marketing, you won't get any mathematics there. That's what I really like, and that's what makes the schedule overall more flexible, I guess. And the point is that the subjects are changing every semester. But if we speak about the current semester, I would say that mostly I enjoyed the lectures on human resources. And what I really like about, again, the majority of our lectures and about our lecturers, that they're actually basing on their real life experience. It's not some kind of a stories when a guy taught a guy something or it's written somewhere in the book. They basically teach from their own experience. Everything is based on real life stories, and that's what I really love.
So, yeah, to speak on his point, like he mentioned, I don't really have a particular subject that I really like as my favorite subject. But what I can say from the lecturers and the subject that are being taught is everything is actually correlated. So taking from personal experience, all the subjects and all the lecturers I've actually met, all of them are quite interesting because whatever you learn in marketing can be used in human resources. So there's no wasted knowledge from any subject or any lecturer that gives you any kind of piece of information. And fun fact, after learning all these subjects, which I'm still going to speak about for the internship, when you put it on your CV, it makes you actually kind of attractive to all these companies. So talking about marketing, human resources, sustainable business, public speaking, and all the subjects, they're actually quite interesting. And I promise you, when you come over to SMK, you're going to actually enjoy your time, whether you choose to study in international business.
Okay, thank you. That's quite interesting that you don't have a specific one, but you have like Those are co-interrelated. Let's go back to after you finish your high school, you were lost. Or maybe you were not lost.
We were.
Actually, we were.
You were thinking, should I stay in Ukraine? Should I stay in Nigeria? Should I go to Canada? Should I go to UK? Should I go to US? What prompted your decision of coming to Lithuania to study?
You go first.
Oh, sure. That's actually also a good question, because when I was a high school alumni, I was thinking that I need to go somewhere. You know, I'm that kind of person that is kind of tired of being like every day in a same routine. And I was like, that's the perfect time for me. That's the go time. I need to leave my zone of comfort. I got to move somewhere. I got to meet new people, see some new places, interact with other cultures, and so on. And then when SMK came by, basically the first thing I knew about the university and what I really liked, that I don't need to learn Lithuanian language to study in Lithuania, as there are 9 English language programs that was mentioned before, I guess. And also, I guess I've seen the campus tour that had been shown just before, and I really loved. I couldn't believe that such a place really exists. And I was like, I got to go here to, see it with my own eyes. Now I'm here, first year student in international business.
Not fake.
Not fake, yeah, I can touch it.
It's not green screen though.
Yeah.
It's real.
Nice. Artem, so you really love when SMK came and presented this opportunity of studying here with you, and you love the campus. And you finally came here, you step your foot first on the campus. You are not in Disneyland, you're over here.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it seems.
In SMK. No, so what about you? You came far away.
Yeah, maybe.
6,000 kilometers you came from Nigeria.
Yeah, sure.
How in Nigeria it's popular choosing Canada, choosing UK, choosing US, but you decided to come to Lithuania. What was your classmates telling you? Nonso?
So the funny thing about this whole story, going way back to, I think, 2019, when my search to study abroad began, was when I graduated from high school. I sat down with my parents and I was like, okay, I want to leave Nigeria. I don't want to have the same kind of Nigerian university mentality. I wanted to go outside. And
what's wrong with Nigerian university mentality?
I mean, there's no there's no shame in studying in your country or having their kind of style. But me personally, I wanted to break the barrier and go outside and understand what it is to do business or have contact or speak with clients from other countries, because you can't be in one place and be able to understand another person's point of view. So you need to go outside of where you're staying to understand what they're saying, so you can be able to make a decision for them. So I spoke to my parents, and willingly they were happy to allow me go, and we started the search for schools. Like you said, the obvious decision is to go to the US, the UK, Canada, and other places. Like you can see, Lithuania has actually influenced me that I'm actually calling out its name already. But I told my dad that I didn't want to go to all these big places, because I knew the competition was high. And I wanted to go to a place where I could, first of all, start to understand everything from the basics. So we went to Europe, and we decided to see countries that were going to be able to enter. And then from there, Lithuania popped up. And when Lithuania popped up, I was like, okay, this is the first time I'm here in this country. And I went online, because I like to do my own research. I went online on YouTube, and I found out that Lithuania is actually called the G-spot of Europe, which is actually quite funny. When I saw that, I was like, okay, this is very interesting. I need to come here. This is actually very interesting, because for it to be called the G-spot of it means it's a very entertaining, popular place for tourists and other. And then while watching some videos, I stumbled upon a video from a Lithuanian, I do not remember his name, but from a Lithuanian vlogger that showed some diversity in Lithuania, that showed Black people and other kind of culture. And I was like, okay, mom, dad, actually, this is a very good place. I can go here because there are a lot of other cultures I can mix with: Nigerians, Cameroonians, Ukrainians, Lithuanian, Polish, name any country you want to meet. And then I was like, okay, nice. And then we started the application process through an agency. And from there, I found myself in Lithuania, and now I'm 2 years in Lithuania, studying international business, about to enter my third year.
Wow, you're old in Lithuania already.
I would still say I'm pretty young because I could leave Lithuania today and come back in, let's say, another year and still be amazed by the technological advancement because Lithuania keeps up upgrading. So it's like I'm still new.
Good. Sure. Glad to hear.
Yeah. So just maybe you can tell us about like SMK, like in general, like how did you adapt here? Who helped you the most? And was it okay? How was it adapting to Lithuania overall? Like, did you face any challenges maybe?
Well, I'm not gonna like lie. To be honest, when I first came to Lithuania, I really understood that Lithuanians are quite cold. So in the sense that when you meet a Lithuanian for the first time, they don't have the like screaming personality where they like welcome you like, oh hi, like they need to like get to know you a little bit and understand what kind of person you are before they can make a decision whether they can relate with you or like they can cut you off. So
Lithuanians are like cats.
yeah, they're like they need to watch you a little bit and then they act before like so they think about it before they act. So when I got here I stayed alone for like 3 months. So it made me understand what Lithuanians are all about, how they act, and how to approach a Lithuanian, because it's actually very good to know how to approach a person in Lithuania, because you can't just walk up with, because where I come from in Nigeria, you can walk up to anybody, be friendly, and the person is going to like reciprocate the feeling back to you. But in Lithuania, if you just jump on someone with a very happy voice, the person is going to look at you and be like, do I know you? Like, why are you doing this to me? I don't know you. So you need to be able to approach from different perspectives, maybe very respectful, because you could be talking to the CEO of a very big company. At the same time, you need to be very careful because you could be talking to people who have anger management issues. So you need to just be balanced when talking with people on the streets, in the office, wherever you just find yourself. You just need to be, well balanced and well managed. And speaking about how I adjusted, well, the person who helped me the most is actually sitting close to me, and that's Mr. Sampson, because when I first landed, in Lithuania through the agent and she took me on a tour, the person who actually made me adapt to school life and actually brought the whole mentor, because that was my first time, I had a very funny experience because he texted me that he was coming. And I was like, oh, he's a Nigerian. I can be comfortable around him. And I literally walked out in my, how do I call this? Like my sleepwear.
Underwear.
Underwear, sleepwear, kind of like, and I wanted to say hi to him. And then all of a sudden I opened the door and I saw 6, 7 people, mentors. I was like, oh my God, what have I just done? Because I was being vulnerable around him. I didn't know he was gonna bring 6, 7 people of different nationalities to come and say hi to me, and I was like, okay, I needed to change. And then when I changed, they were all laughing, and they like
that's how we welcome people in Lithuania.
Well, that was actually a very big shock because I was like, oh my God, what's going on here? And then I got to meet the mentors for the first time, the whole mentors, which was actually quite a special event because now I know everyone by name and experience. So it was quite fun, and that exposure has actually changed my mentality and actually changed how I relate with people, because now I can say in Nigeria, I was not as social as I was, but if I leave SMK, I live with a very huge social and networking skill that I can easily approach someone from any walk of life and be able to build on a conversation from there.
Very good, very good. Interesting story, Nonso. Nonso is still agile today.
Would still always be agile.
Okay. Arthur, what of you?
Did you meet anybody with in
underwear? No, unfortunately, I didn't meet anyone in my underwear. Or fortunately, who knows? But I think what was Nonsa mentioning, I guess that I should mention as well that now I'm a part of the mentors team.
Wow.
So yeah, unbelievable. So those are the guys who greet new students, who kind of help them interact with each others, who integrate them in a system and in overall daily routine in Lithuania. I think the first person who I met here in Lithuania as soon as I came was one of the Lithuanian mentors. He kind of moved around me on my way from airport to the dormitory. He told me a bit about Lithuania, about the city overall, about where I can go or where shouldn't I go. Then I came to the university, and I think that the people who can I name friends. So my first friends, they actually came from the university. Those were the guys from my group. Just randomly coming to lectures and started interacting, talking to each other. That's how it usually goes. Like I won't tell kind of a special story, but actually I really enjoy. And when I got comfortable in the university, I started looking for some context from from outside the university, and there when I found again busting the myth that Lithuanians are not friendly. Lithuanians is what are called a real friend. If you prove to a Lithuanian that you're a trustworthy person, 100% is like a friend till the end of your days. So you should know that, and you should calculate that maybe on your first or second time you see and you speak, he's not gonna be, he's not gonna greet you in underwear and be like, "Oh, I'm so happy that you came." But
Nice one.
but overall, yeah, those are really great people.
Nice that you have a different interesting story. Let's say about looking at your lectures. You said your teachers are practical practitioners in their field, and they bring different real life cases to class. How do you spend your time outside the class?
Because Lithuania is like a small country, and maybe a lot of people imagine that there is not much to do.
Yeah.
But what do you think about it?
What is your social life outside class?
Well, I would say my social life outside class has actually quite improved since I came to Lithuania. Because when I first got into my first year, I met other personalities and different people from different countries. We decided to explore Vilnius as a whole, moving from nightclubs to pubs and other places. Student life, we decided to do things like night outs, go out on Friday nights, come back in Saturday morning. On Saturday morning, we wake up, go take coffee after a hangover, and then we go out, check out the pets in Gedimino Prospectus and other places. We just quietly explored Vilnius. Although it's a small place, we just managed to explore, because even if it's a small place, it's really fun to find out the little things in the small place that make the small place a big thing. So there are a lot of things you can do. There are gaming centers, there are racing centers, there are places where you can see pets, site attraction. There's a big museum you can actually come check out and get a tour from. And SMK actually does organize events where they take you to other places, like the mentor, which is responsible for that. They take you around Lithuania. They can take you to other places like Klaipėda, Kaunas, Trakai, Palanga, and other places. So I'm sure you have a lot of fun time to do a lot of special things with your friends, and also have time to study and make up for your grades. So yeah.
Thank you for sharing your experience and nightclubs. So what about Tim? Do you also go often?
Not much of a nightclub guy, honestly, but the thing that was mentioned before about the overall marketing strategy of the Vilnius, like the G spot of Europe, I mean, it's really true. It's hard to find it, maybe, especially on a map, but as soon as you find it, everything goes perfectly. There are a lot of activities which are really depend on what you prefer, what do you not. For example, if you're some kind of a history guy, there are a lot of museums. There is a beautiful old town with a lot of old buildings where you can go around. It seems like pretty small, but actually if you start walking all around, you could even get lost there. First time I went there, I guess I got lost because it's like a lot of streets which are interconnected. It was so hard. You can ask Nonce about nightclubs, for sure, pubs. And what's interesting that the pubs are actually also kind of related to some kind of interest. For example, there is a pub, Pussy Trechas, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can go to have a drink there, or you can come, they have like a whole bunch of the board games. So you can bring your friends, sit around, play board games, maybe get some drinks, which is pretty fun, I guess. There is a karting race. If you like barbecue, there are free barbecue spots kind of outside the Vilnius, I guess, but they're close to the river and nature is pretty cool. If you are a sports guy, there is a lot of like volleyball, basketball, football courts outdoors. They're like literally everywhere, especially basketball courts. So you can just grab yourself a ball, a couple of friends, and come and play, like no problem.
Okay. Nice. Talking about like a life and so on, do you think like how can you share with us how much you spend like per month, or like is it expensive life overall, or it's fine like for European country? What do you think about it?
Well, looking at it as a whole, it's not expensive, it's not cheap, it's in the middle. If you know how to balance your life and balance, like know how to manage yourself, you should be quite okay. So I currently stay in an apartment with a few of my friends who are classmates, and we pay a total of 420 euros, and sharing it and splitting the utility bills. For each person, it's quite cheap. Combined together, we just pay, and it's not hard and it's comfortable for us. But I have noticed that some people find it hard to get an apartment to stay with people, because meeting new people and trying to get into the apartment, the person doesn't know you, and you can't just say, just like take for example, I'm meeting them for the first day, and I'm like, Artem, let's stay in an apartment together. Artem is gonna be like, no, I don't know you. Except he's an open-minded person, which I guess he is. He's gonna be like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. And in such situations, you have to enter a contract where you and Artem are gonna be like, okay, if at the end of 2 months, which is a probability period, that I'm not okay staying with you, you have to find someone to replace you, which is actually the best option when looking for an apartment. Or like they mentioned in the previous presentation, you can get into a dormitory, which is a lot cheaper. And when you stay in the dormitory, you could either decide to stay with 3 people in your room, or you could decide to stay alone, depending on how comfortable you are with people. So that's it.
About 10.
I guess a bit of a correction, a few words.
Okay.
In the dormitory, I stay in a dormitory. So in the rooms where I stayed, it's like rooms for 2 people. Okay. So you and some other guy, but actually the manager is really open-minded. So if you come to her and say that, okay, I'm not really comfortable with living with that guy, maybe I could live with another one, she probably will help you.
Okay.
And of course, you can pay twice as double, like which is 160 per person. Okay. You can pay 320 and live like all alone in the room. But I live with another mate, so it's like 160 a month. And I guess regarding food, again, if you are balancing your budget and you're planning kind of your budget, and you're not the type of a bougie guy who eats salmon like all the week, you could easily fit in a budget of like maybe 150 euros per month for food. It's like per one person. But maybe if you sometimes want to go with your friends to drink a coffee or hang out somewhere in a cafe, actually the total could be bigger. But again, if you're good with balancing your budget, it could be something up maybe maximum to 200 euros, I guess, a month.
I mean, if you buy food, because foods in Lithuania are actually quite cheap.
True.
So if you buy food and stack it up in the fridge, like you cook, save, eat, like you'll be pretty okay.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cheap.
Yeah,
especially comparing to other, let's say, European countries.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, while you're still on the studio with us, because I believe some of our potential students are here waiting for their time to ask a question. There might be some question directed to us. There might be some question directed to you guys. Mm-hmm. So I will ask you to stay for a bit. So guys online, it is time for you to ask your question. So let's start from good morning from Nigeria. This is a question from Daniel. Can I apply for English Foundation program to fill in 1 year additional studies in higher education? Daniel, unfortunately, no, because English Language Foundation program, it is meant for students who are from non-English speaking country. So unfortunately, you won't be able to apply for English Foundations program. And another question from Natalia, English Foundation program, is that program will be offline in university. The program is in form of an hybrid mode. So you can follow the program both online and offline, but it's always advisable for you to come physically to class because there is a lot of things happening on campus. As we keep going, okay.
I see an interesting question about the scholarships for the remaining study year. So yes, after you have received, for example, like some scholarship, or you were not eligible to receive the first scholarship like in the first year. So if you're active, if you have really good grades here in SMK, and if you are showing your willingness, you can receive up to 50% of the fee reduction during your years in the second or third year here of studies.
Okay. Let's see. We have a lot of questions. So let's see. What is the procedure to study in Lithuania? We've already discussed that. I want to learn English language. Okay, Samsung will also cover for visa process later on. Okay, we cover for the visa process, guys. So it is easy and simple. For students coming from, let's say, Asia and Africa, when you are applying for visa, please make sure all your documents are notarized and legalized, because the embassy look into this carefully. Make sure the embassy could be able to trace, let's say, your sponsor. If you decide to use your uncle as a sponsor who is going to be sponsoring your studies in Lithuania, make sure your uncle has a monthly income which is sufficient for you to stay in Lithuania. Make sure the pay slip of your uncle or your dad or your mom is submitted together as the document you're submitting to the embassy. So this is very, very important. Another thing which is important is make sure the insurance you will be buying or you will be submitting to the embassy is insurance that covers Lithuania and Schengen. The area of coverage has to be Lithuania and Schengen, not only Lithuania, because this could be one of a catalyst also for embassy to take their decision. Another interesting is the motivational interview. You will be called for motivational interview. The interview is always, could take, let's say, 20, 30, or 40 minutes. You have to be prepared. You have to prepare to answer all questions. Don't use the slang, I don't know, I haven't checked. All this form of answers does not has a positive effect on your visa. So it is always good for you to make sure all these documents. What we will do is this: when you get to the process of getting visa, we have a compiled document of the documents needed that you will need at the embassy that will be very useful for you. So make sure you are also, one thing you have to check is look at the Lithuanian embassy in your country. Make sure there is a Lithuanian embassy. If there is no Lithuanian embassy, make sure there is a Lithuanian visa center. This is very, very important. And before you apply, if you discover that I'm from Cameroon and Lithuanian embassy is not in my country, you either have the opportunity of going to Dubai or have the opportunity of going to Egypt. Make sure you check what are the possibility of getting visa to those countries as early as possible. And we discussed about the deadline also. The deadline affects visa outcome, because if you start your application late, definitely you will get the admission later, and your visa application also is going to be later. So once you are going to the embassy later on to apply for visa, the embassy will check when the study starts and when you are submitting your visa application. If the timeline, the interval is a long period of time, that also might have effect on your in the outcome of your visa. So there is a question from Urish. I'm so interested in video media creation. I'm present here in Vilnius. Actually, I want to study, but I want to switch to SMK. Ulrich, if you're in currently in Vilnius, please feel free to come to our office to meet us. We will give you what are the procedures, what are the things you have to put into place before you can be enrolled into video creation. And also about video creation, what I forgot to tell you is students who are applying to this study program, you are required to provide your portfolio of your previous work that you've done. So if you have a portfolio of, let's say you are into photography and you have a lot of photography in which you've already, events you've captured or video, please, you will be asked also to submit this during the application process.
And I see there is a question about the dormitory. So particularly dormitory doesn't have a name itself, it has a number, but I believe that you will want to search it in Google Maps, but there is not much information about that. So if you wish to know more about dormitory, you can write to my email address, dariana.kizim.smk.lt, and I will send you the pictures from the dormitory and like tell you more about the dormitory, because you will not find it just simply in the internet, unfortunately. But you can find the co-living projects. Yes. You find the co-living projects called Live in Vilnius, without like E in the end, live, just like that, so you can see the person. Yes, you can unmute yourself to ask the questions if you wish. So we'll be looking for it. And also you can ask questions from our students, because I can tell you from the student perspective. And so you would not only listen to us, but also to students.
Maybe you have a question from none. So what are the best night spots in Vilnius to visit? Maybe you can ask question to Artem, how to go to boxing class without paying a cent.
True.
Or their phone numbers, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for participating today. We're really glad to receive so many questions, so many of you participating today, and it was a really pleasing event. Thank you for you also for presenting us today.
So let's see, for example, Nonso Artem, you have 3 words to say regarding this future applicant who are still thinking of going to SMK for applying. What would be your advice for them? 3 words, sentence.
Come, explore, enjoy.
Come, explore, and enjoy. Wow, that's powerful.
If you say that, what do you want me to say? First of all, be open, sociable, and get ready to leave your comfort zone. So those are the 3 words I live by.
Be open, be sociable, and get ready to leave your comfort zone. And with all this word, enjoy, be open, this is where you get that in SMK. We make you to get the spirit of so much more, so much on what you deserve. So guys, we will see you in the application process. Feel free to mail us, to call us, to write us, to visit us. You are always welcome. SMK is always an open door for you. Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us today. I wish you a nice application process, and see you on campus September 1st, 2022. Have a wonderful day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.